All new reaction tonight as Johnston County neighbors grapple with the reality a heinous crime happened right next door. Wellington Dickens III is in jail tonight, accused of killing his 4 children months ago. Deputies say he called 911 himself to confess to the crime last night. WRAL's Eric Miller has been following the shocking story for us tonight. Eric, it's early, it's inexplicable, but do we have any sense of a motive tonight?
Alina, we've been talking to Dickens' family and neighbors here on Springtooth Drive, trying to answer that question. Dickens' uncle points to the fact that he's an Iraq War veteran, something that certainly had an impact on his behavior over the years. Neighbors here have pointed out that Dickens lost his wife just a year ago. Still, there's no word yet, at least not publicly, from Dickens himself or the Johnston County Sheriff's Office to explain why or how a man could kill 4 of his own children and leave a 5th alive but alone. Inside Wellington Dickens' home Tuesday night, empty bunk beds that will never be full again. Investigators finally left the scene of this crime around 7:30 p.m., but neighbors like Deborah Riley, who lives right next door, are still trying to put the pieces together.
My heart just breaks for the children and for the 3-year-old that's left because he has no parents or siblings left.
Riley says Dickens had changed significantly since his wife died in childbirth last year.
Became more of a recluse, I guess maybe the appropriate word. You just never saw him outside as much. You never saw the children outside as much. He did state that his wife was more or less the backbone of the family, that she took care of the children, she homeschooled them, prepared the meals, took care of the household.
According to the Johnston County Sheriff's Office, 4 of those children, ages 6, 9, and 10, along with Dickens' 18-year-old stepson, were found stuffed in the trunk of a car at Dickens' home. Court documents suggest they'd been there for months.
It's been nerve-wracking. It's been emotional.
Sherry Burton, who also lives next door to Dickens, says she had noticed something strange at Dickens' house over the last few months.
He started to leave his garage door up from the ground up, probably about 2 inches off the ground.
She also says at one point her son caught a whiff of something awful.
Because he said it almost made him, but he got to throw up.
For her part, Deborah Riley says she wishes she could have done something, anything, to keep this horror from coming to this now empty house.
The way of the world's just not the way it used to be, where you talked to your neighbors, you checked on them. Again, that's something I'll regret.
Now, Dickens is facing 4 different murder charges here. He had his first appearance in court here in Johnston County on one of those today. He'll have his first appearance on the other 3 tomorrow. We'll be watching very closely to see what happens there in Johnston County. Eric Miller, WRAL News.
Thank you, Eric. We wanted to know more about Dickens and any criminal history he may have. He does have another misdemeanor child abuse charge. It's from 2015, 1 month after he was married. But the case was dismissed because the alleged victim didn't show up in court. Most of the charges we found against him were traffic tickets and things like that. We also learned that Dickens' father died in a crash in 2023. Then his wife died in 2024. Her obituary only said that she died suddenly at home. WRAL's Ashley Rose spoke with Dickens' great uncle this afternoon. He said Dickens served in Iraq and has struggled mentally ever since.
We know he had a little problem.
What kind of problem?
You know, he was, like I said, he was in the service and he had problems ever since he came back, I think.
WRAL was checking with local social service agencies to see if they had any involvement with the family. Those records are confidential, but agencies can release them after a child dies under these kinds of circumstances.